What's the difference?
We'll find out.
Successful.
So, Ron, would you come be Mohammed?
Can call you Mo.
And you are a Boko Haram commander, age 25. And
They just found out that 45% of the American population doesn't trust Muslims. I heard that on any
oh, because of Miriam, would you come read Lami, a Nigerian girl captured by Boko Haram, and wife of Mohammed, age 16.
Oh, that's good. Haven't been there for a while.
I have an extra script?
Oh, yeah, there should be.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, there's,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, this is the next one. And, someone for stage directions? Okay, come on, Larry, you do stage directions.
Huh?
Dressed to kill. Mohammed, Boko Haram commander, age 25. Lami, Nigerian girl captured by Boko Haram, wife of Mohammed, age 16. Time, late morning, presence. Place, second floor apartment facing the main street in Yola, northeast Nigeria. Set costumes and props. Two rusty folding chairs facing each other at center stage. Stage left chair, slightly upstage of the stage right chair. Mohammed is dressed in a white shirt with an open collar, leather jacket, black pants, black socks, black shoes. Mohammed has a beard. Lami is dressed in a smart blouse or t-shirt, stylish jeans, and black flats. Around her chest is a suicide vest with straps and extra pieces of rope. Mohammed has a roll of thick adhesive tape, a cell phone in a pocket, and a pack of cigarettes and matches. An AK-47 with shoulder strap is next to the downstage chair. Next to the upstage chair on the floor is a folded black jilbab and black hijab. The synopsis of an abducted young Nigerian girl is prepared by Boko Haram commander to be a suicide bomber. And we have the Nigerian music, blackout, lights come up, Lami sitting on the stage, Mohammed standing in front of the stage by a chair facing Lami. Mohammed is adjusting the straps of the suicide vest. Music fades, Mohammed wraps adhesive tape around Lami. Lami winces with pain.
Ouch!
Too tight?
Mohammed loosens the tape and looks at Lami.
Better?
Smells
Lami.
bad. Oh. Go ahead.
Lami nods slightly and sniffs as she detects a disagreeable smell.
Smells bad.
Fertilizer. High power. From farmer friends in Turkey.
Mohammed continues to wrap tape around Lami. He stands and puts a piece of rope around Lami, tightens it, and ties it with a knot. He is finished and sits down. Mohammed sits back to admire his work.
Good.
Lami starts to tug on the vest. Mohammed pushes Lami's hands away.
Don't.
Lami starts to put her hands again on the vest. Mohammed grabs her chin harshly.
I said don't.
Lami puts her hands at her sides. Mohammed pushes her with his hand as he removes his hand from her chin. Mohammed points his left index finger menacingly at Lami.
Deliberately.
That'll be in your voice.
That's the real voice.
Okay. You're not to touch anything.
Lami looks away.
Understand?
Lami looks back and nods.
I was just checking.
You don't need to check nothing. You won't be taking it off.
Lami nods subserviently. Mohammed sits back.
I rescued you for this glorious day.
Lami looks down.
You should be grateful.
Why are you making me do this? 'cause I'm a...
Was an infidel, Muslim now. I made you.
I had a girl.
Boys make fighters,
A what?
holy warriors.
I have no milk.
Mohammed shakes his head.
I squeeze very hard, but nothing comes out. I love our daughter. I'll keep trying. Promise. Please. Don't make me.
Mohammed waves her off.
Women's troubles no matter to me.
Mohammed motions for Lami to turn around. Lami turns around in the chair, facing stage left. Mohammed crosses to Lami. Mohammed makes adjustments on the back.
You told me I'd be safe with you.
You are safe.
Lami turns back and holds her hands up to protest.
This is safe?
Husbands know what's best for their wives.
You should be protecting me.
I am protecting you.
Lami holds her hands up.
This is protection?
Mohammed holds his hand to stop Lami from talking.
And I'm a commander in a holy army. You can trust me.
Lami is crestfallen.
You prayed today?
Lami nods several times.
Then you get answer to help you. God always answers prayers.
Mohammed crosses to the jilbab and hijab and tosses them at Lami.
You mustn't look like a slut on the street. You're a daughter of the prophet.
Lami takes the jilbab and slips it over her head and over her body. She takes the hijab and puts it on. Mohammed looks at her admiringly.
Stand up.
Lami stands up and screws the hijab. Mohammed checks Lami over to make sure the suicide vest does not show. Mohammed pats her down. Lami hopes Mohammed is aroused.
Undress me, as you did last night.
Lami puts her hand on Mohammed's cheek.
You are so bad.
Lami takes Mohammed's hands and puts them on her breasts. Mohammed is surprised, but pleased.
Take me.
Lami holds Mohammed's hands tighter against her breast. Mohammed is aroused.
I want you.
Lami moves his hands over her breasts. Mohammed moves closer to Lami and moans.
Don't you want me?
Mohammed kisses Lami passionately, and he backs away and puts his hands on his head in torment of what to do. He shakes his head. Lami is disappointed.
Don't you love me?
Mohammed needs to regroup. He takes out his cell phone, pats the cell phone as he shows it to her.
I control everything from here. You do nothing except walk across the street and go in the door. Go to the center of the market where the women shop and wait to enter paradise.
Mohammed puts his cell phone in his pocket.
I can't.
Mohammed holds Lami's hands tightly.
You can. This is for God. Remember your prayer.
Mohammed crosses to the edge of the stage and points off stage.
Your sisters are downstairs. Walk with them across the street. Hold their hands like sisters do.
Mohammed points his index finger off stage.
I'll be watching from the window. They can go home when you reach the market.
Mohammed turns back to Lami.
If they do anything funny,
Mohammed picks up his AK-47 and points it off the edge of the stage.
bang, bang!
Lami winces. Mohammed puts the AK-47 down. Mohammed motions towards the stage left stairs.
Go, go!
Lami starts to cross toward the stage left stairs. Then she reaches downstage with Mohammed. He grabs her left wrist roughly and pulls her close. She winces and stops. She is still hopeful.
Please.
Mohammed grabs her wrist harder, and Lami reacts with more and more pain. There's an audible heartbeat at 80 beats per minute. It continues louder and faster.
If you do anything funny,
Lami looks resolutely at Mohammed. Audible heartbeat increases to 90 beats per minute.
What more could you do to me?
Mohammed takes his hand away and touches Lami's chest to check her pulse. Lami puts her hand up to hold his hand on her chest. It pulls away too quickly.
you must feel the same way I do. Your heart is racing.
Mohammed gently pushes Lami toward the stage left stairs. Lami starts to cross slowly towards the stage left stairs.
This is the moment of our great honor.
Lami stops.
Yes?
Lami turns back toward Mohammed and glares at him.
Allahu Akbar.
Lami turns and crosses to the stage left stairs.
Allahu Akbar.
Calling out to Lami, Lami does not respond. She reaches the stage left stairs and exits off the stage left stairs. Audible heartbeat increases to 100 beats per minute. The spot narrows to cover Mohammed. Mohammed takes the cigarettes and matches out of his pocket. He lights a cigarette and takes a few drags. He drops the cigarette and steps on it. Heartbeat increases to 110 per minute. Mohammed puts the cigarettes and matches into his pocket, picks up the AK-47 and crosses to the edge of stage. Heartbeat increases to 120 beats per minute. Mohammed watches what is happening off the edge of the stage. He is satisfied with what he sees. He puts the AK-47 down and calmly takes his cell phone out of his pocket. Heartbeat continues at 120 beats per minute. Mohammed smiles broadly and touches the cell phone. Loud explosion. Spot went off and black out simultaneously. Mohammed exits in the dark stage left. Heartbeat stops. Loud explosion. Heartbeat resumes at 90 beats per minute and down to 80 beats per minute. Nigerian music starts as heartbeat resumes. Heartbeat at 60 beats per minute. Continues for 1 minute. Heartbeat stops. Nigerian music off. End.
Empty your pockets.
Watch out for that.
I've been blown up already, so I've not been worried about it.
No fly list.
You gotta check in.
You did too good. You did that too
Yeah,
well.
I didn't do
You did that too well.
So,
I found when he dressed to kill someone chilling. He dressed for success was hopeful. Is when the actual solution is.
Well, the second one is chilling.
Masters of understatement you are.
How about the ending? You know what's going on at the ending?
He sets off the bomb.
Where was the bomb, though?
It wasn't on her chest.
On his wife.
It was where?
On his wife.
How about, what'd you say, sir?
I said, I don't think it was on her chest. was it?
No, it was downstairs where they left it.
Yeah.
That's why the foreshadowing of her heartbeat, when he checks her wrist and then he checks her chest, he realizes her heartbeat is, and that's what you hear. And yet he's doing everything calmly, so his heartbeat obviously isn't going up. And then when the blackout and the explosion, that's because he's blown up. And when she had gone down with her sisters, they quickly took the vest off, walked across the street because she already had the outfit on, so he didn't know. And so she walks in the door, he blows it up, he blows himself up.
See, now, I was hoping for that. I didn't get
I
that.
didn't get it either.
You don't
I
get
didn't
it.
I was hoping for that, but I didn't get it. I just, you did, I mean, the heartbeat was, okay, a part of the giveaway, I guess. I was part of, basically what your thing was, your trick to get us to understand that. It didn't bring the point home to me.
No,
I didn't get it.
no. I mean, because he kept putting the tape on very tight. How could she get it off?
Really quickly and all
That
that.
quick-
Well, she got two sisters downstairs. They'll just lift up this, cut it, take it right off. Imagine it
So
like
they've
a
had
life
practice of
preserver.
this?
I didn't get that.
As you explain it, I can understand it, but I did not get it from the text.
I wonder if it would be clearer on stage where she would be, he would hold up her wrist.
That's the heart thing.
Your heart, you must feel the same way I do. Your heart is racing.
yeah.
And that's the beat you're hearing.
But, I'm just a little confused about stage directions at the end. I thought he exited.
Well, no, I just said he should just get off the stage, you know, in the blackout.
Oh, okay.
Obviously, you know, just, you don't know what happened to him. I mean, it's just shooting black, so.
Okay, that's the part that I missed. I heard the
I mean, I
explosion.
wanted so black, you didn't realize he actually got blown up.
I mean, the sisters, I mean, he mentioned that she could meet the sisters, but you don't have the idea that the sisters are gonna take this vest off. I don't know.
Well, she doesn't certainly want to tell him anything that would,
No,
but he does say that they're
but
down
the
for
audience,
maintenance.
the audience doesn't know, doesn't know either. Is there any way you could write in that, or even just have the sisters do, in the play itself, do something where they don't say anything, but they could come in and even just have scissors or something.
Maybe just come back and grab the AK-47 and leave.
I have a question. Without the stage directions being actually read, how long does this play, do you figure, run? I mean, because you probably got time to flesh things out a little bit better.
Yeah. Well, that's what I think with on stage, I think it would be different, it would take longer and you'd see those things happening.
You really would need to see that she's taking the vest off, right?
I would think so.
Or, yeah, because you can't tell any of that.
Not necessarily if, at the very end, there's the sound of the explosion, he's there. There's the sound of the explosion, and then you have the lights flash, and him jump, fall, then you would know that it was him that got.
Yeah, and then
blown up.
show her just standing. I mean, it's fine. So I mean, you have a real style, which is, I think really good. And I think it's really unusual how visual you are, because they tell you, when you write stuff, everyone tells you, don't write the stage directions, and that's because the directors want to do it. And I really like the fact that you're writing visually, and not just with words. And, it's unusual, but I think it makes it very powerful, and you had it in both. I mean, there are different ways you could solve that, but you could have somebody come in at the end and explain it, but I really like the idea of just solving it visually, and you have really strong dramatic situations. I think in both of them, you could deepen the relationships and stick with it more. Like in this one, it seems like she's trying to get him interested in her, so he'll remove the vest, and I think you could kind of work with that even more, because she's not really interested in him. She just wants the guy to take the vest off, it sounds like, and you deal with that, but it just seemed like you could go even further. And with the first one, I kind of felt that your dramatic situation was between the guy and the woman doing it, and then you went in a different direction. And to me, the revelation is when he finds out that he's been tricked by her, and how you make him violent and dangerous. And when this guy finds out that she's been tricking him the whole time, if he's violent and dangerous, what will he do? So I felt the second one, you stick with the dramatic situation. The first one, the guy walks away, and then the play kind of ends, and then you have something else that's kind of cheerful. But I just felt that however it happens, that your dramatic moment is when he finds out that she betrayed him and kind of made him into a fool, and how he reacts in the place between those two. So yeah, I think the
find out in the first one though.
I know what I'm saying. To me, that would be the dramatic. Well, and in neither one of them they find out really. So you that's your thing. But to me, the dramatic moment is when somebody becomes aware that the truth is different. You kind of have that in the second one when there's explosion. But in the first one, he kind of just walks away. And to me, I would have him either walk back or and find out, because that's to me the dramatic moment, the revelation between the other two. They already know, or it doesn't matter. But to me, the play is between that guy, the powerful guy. Both plays have power in like he's the powerful one, and then he gets exploded. You have a lot of power, you have a lot going on, but I think you want to stick with that power in the first one.
I got a couple of questions, practical questions. There was no transition in the first one. Sita's on the street, he goes, Mom, her daughter comes. She wouldn't dare do that on the street. Let her hair down, put the makeup on. They gotta go someplace. She can't risk exposing herself as a woman on the corner where she apparently always shines shoes. And the other question I have is, in the second play, where are they? She talks about a baby. Is the baby there? is she going to blow up the house with the baby in it?
Well, in the first play, the reason she can take the things off is that everybody's gone home for prayer. There's nobody on the street.
It's still pretty risky. There's a couple of infidels around.
The guy not
And the
sure.
second one, she is in an upper room overlooking the street, and
Right.
the market is beyond.
So they're not in their home.
No.
You just
So one thing you could do in the second play is that as he is coming forward, you know, and doing his business with the cigarettes and everything, we could have the stage, the suicide vest just kind of be tossed below the stage. From stage
That
left,
would be
she
good.
exits, and then he's up there, and then he takes a AK-47. You see the suicide vest coming across, landing at, not at his feet, but below, you know, in the orchestra
And
pit.
maybe you could hear her voice a little bit more subdued, but she could be the first one to say Allahu Akbar, you know, quietly,
That's
like,
nice.
oh my God, I'm blowing him up.
That's nice.
And then all of a sudden you hear him,
That's nice.
just for the contrast.
You could, I missed the word at the beginning of the description. Her relationship to him, did you say?
She's
what?
married to him, she's been she was
Kidnapped,
kidnapped,
I thought I heard that. All
and
right,
he
so
forced her to marry him
Right,
and
so-
change her faith.
there's no emotion, she has no emotional connection to him,
Terror.
Yeah, right.
yeah. Well, positive emotional.
I mean, he calls her an infidel, but apparently she couldn't nurse the baby, and he was is the baby still alive? Because she said she would still cry. But, why it's important to know about the sisters, does she know that the sisters are gonna help her? I mean, do they even know that she's wearing a vest? I mean, that kind of, was a question that I had. He knows that the sisters are meeting, then she seems to be very upset that he's putting this vest on her. Would the sisters know she has this vest? For them to have time to cut it off, because it's tape and that doesn't come off very quickly. Even if they just cut it, would they have scissors? I mean, so
I
that,
think, from my standpoint, they planned this, they know what's gonna happen. They're
So-
told that you gotta walk with her to the market, you're gonna leave before it blows up,
so
so
she
you're
knows
gonna
about
live.
this in advance.
Right.
Okay.
You walk with them, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna have the gun on them so they don't do anything funny. And then they could leave, that's fine.
But you had no idea when you said, the audience sees the vest being thrown back on stage, or what Joanne said about the lighting, something that's really shows that,
Right.
something like that.
blows up.
Yeah.
Excuse me,
Yes,
I was curious, why is he pinning the suicide bomb on her? Does he want her to blow up the store across the street?
Yeah.
What is the purpose?
terror,
Oh,
he's
I
a
didn't get,
terrorist. He
I
wants to
know
go into the market and kill women and children.
Oh, I didn't get that, I didn't know what he was pinning it for. I think that could be made clear in the dialogue, his hatred or whatever. And I also felt in the second play, there was much more drama. In the first play, I felt it was much too much talking and stage directions and not enough dialogue between your characters.
I think a suicide vest automatically tells us this is terror.
Yeah.
Suicide vest
Yeah.
terror.
Right, and he does say, go through that door and go into the market where the women and children are.
I mean, to make it dramatic, you described kind of this character, but the way that you want it. I mean, to me, I don't know if you need that. This is an infidel, whatever. I mean, to me, it would be more dramatic if the guy cares about this person, and if she cares, if it is if it is his daughter or his wife, and maybe the Americans killed their son or whatever, and that there's a personal motive as opposed to just a guy being mean and taking this kind of person.
Why does it have to be Americans?
Well, that'd be American, but I'm just saying that if there's a personal bond, then like with Adam Bomb, the stronger the bond, the bigger the break. So if there's a personal bond, when it breaks, it'll be more emotional for him and more emotional for her, and you just have more
No, they don't care.
meaning.
No,
Well,
they
isn't
don't
it
care.
more
They
of a
just don't
holy,
care.
he feels it's a holy,
It's a holy war, that's why I
that's
have
why
him
he's
say
doing
that.
it, yeah.
And
Cause she's gonna go on now as,
She's going to heaven.
yeah, exactly, in his belief.
And she was captured anyway by
Right.
him, so he doesn't really care about her. She was.
And I think in terms of knowing the dynamics, I think there needs to be some, we don't know. I mean, maybe he loved her somewhat, and he does get aroused, they had children, they had at least one child, so maybe there is something, but I think that could be explored through the acting and people wondering. And maybe you don't know, maybe her attempt, because she does love him, or maybe she's just
Why does
trying to, putting it on.
Maybe
just
she
to
just
get
goes
it to
along,
take it on.
maybe he might love her or have feelings for her, but she just goes along and plays the game, she
Yeah.
doesn't have to love him.
I realize the terror of this.
And then you don't,
She's
It wants him to take the.
she's been kidnapped, why would she?
you don't care so much if he gets blown up at the end either.
No.
If you don't,
No.
if
But
they
you
don't
wanna
have
care,
to.
you wanna care, you don't care.
He thinks he's doing something good for her.
Yeah, yeah.
His feeling, then when he says, you must feel the same way I do, your pulse is going fast, I mean,
Right,
his idea, he thinks he's doing something good for her.
right.
I didn't get that, obviously you wrote it, but I got the impression that he was just telling her whatever whatever he needed to tell her to make her go do it. You know, not just-
Basically what I just wanna reiterate what I said before, I think, it's short enough, both of them are short enough plays where you can delve into the characters a little bit more, maybe work on the characters and the dialogue a bit more, just flesh it out a bit more, get us more interested in them. Get us interested in these people.
They're good situations,
Great situation.
both of them, but we don't know enough.
Yeah,
Particularly in the second one, there's too many,
there's a lot of what ifs.
well,
Yeah, and
there are too many
too many what ifs.
things that you could read, two different ways. As I said, I don't know where they are, I don't know where the baby is. We don't know whether her sisters knew. We don't know how sincere is he, or is he just a monster who, abducted a little girl? So we need more.
Or maybe maybe he does love her and he's following orders from somebody bigger, maybe he's conflicted and he.
Again, maybes, a lot of maybes. Flesh it out a little bit, is all I'm saying. Give us some information.
her failure at breastfeeding, I would consider maybe replacing that with her inability to conceive a child, which would make her expendable. And then you don't have to go into a whole
Yeah.
backstory.
It's like it's a punishment.
Plus, if she was kidnapped, wouldn't her sisters have been kidnapped also?
Oh, yeah, that's why
Yeah,
they're
they used to take,
downstairs.
they take whole villages.
I mean, how would they be out there by themselves to be able to help her take this thing off if they were somehow attached to some other yoke of Boko Haram guys?
Well, they're downstairs under his command, their job is to take her and escort across the street.
I mean, that didn't come across
But
either.
they're just-
That's what we're telling you, we don't know enough. You've written it because you've been hearing this and reading about it and been exposed to it apparently. But we don't know. So you've got to give us a little more information.
But he does say about the sisters, he says if you walk across the street, and if any funny business goes on, he was gonna shoot him, right?
Right.
Yeah, so they're all under
Yeah,
that
but
sort of
where
control.
are they all this
See, I mean,
time? In
but-
other words.
They're downstairs.
If you look at it kind of from the perspective of probably of acting, it's like she wants to keep the conversation going. It's sort of like Balthazar, as long as she dances and she doesn't die, as long as she keeps the conversation going. So she wants to talk and keep going, and he doesn't want to talk because he wants her to just do it. And to even have that conflict going a little more, because as long as they're talking, she's okay. And so she wants to keep just him talking, and he doesn't want to. He just wants her to go, so he doesn't have to deal with it. So
Yeah, but
have her
if she,
more desperation, more effort.
if she knows the sisters are gonna take the vest
Right,
off,
there's a plan.
that
Oh, I
there's
see
a
you
plan, then he's playing a
Well,
part.
that's obvious.
Well,
Then that confuses the whole thing.
Exactly,
Okay.
exactly. It needs to be better fleshed out, defined. We need more information, really.
Or maybe she's giving him a chance that she doesn't have him blown up.
by,
Oh, that's interesting.
you know what that's what I was thinking. After, I didn't know during the play that she survived and he didn't. But, I mean, now that after you said that, I thought that's great that you turned it that way. But maybe the fact, what she's really is instead of her desperation to keep herself alive, she's trying to keep him alive, in a sense. Maybe there is something there.
She knows what's gonna happen.
She knows what's gonna happen, because the sisters are downstairs.
Well, thank you, I think you've given Governor a lot to think about.
No, that's a mistake.
Can I keep